Hello. I would like to present three questions to Charlie Mullins, the head of Pimlico Plumbers, who has gone on record to announce that he's going to be introducing a no jab, no pay policy for his staff. So if you want to start working for Pimlico Plumbers, the new contract is going to say that you have to have the COVID-19 vaccination. If you're an existing member of staff, your contract looks likely to be amended to state that you have to be vaccinated, and if you don't want to sign a new contract, then you've got to go off and get another job. So, question number one. Have you come to your views that we need this vaccine for safety and 100,000 deaths from COVID and all that sort of thing, everything you're saying, are you saying this because you have independently researched and investigated the claims made of the government and found their claims to be true? Or are you just blindly repeating what the government says and the headlines coming from the BBC about this all being about safety and protecting others? Because it sounds, when I hear you being interviewed, like you're literally just paraphrasing whatever the news reports say, the headlines, what the BBC are saying, the claims made by this government presented through the media. That's what it sounds like to me. So are you saying what you're saying? Are you introducing this policy because you have personally looked into all the issues associated with COVID and the vaccine, and you're doing this as an independent, impartial decision because you genuinely care about the safety of your staff and your customers? Question two. Are you willing to be held personally liable for any member of staff who takes the vaccine because you told them to take it, because their job was under threat if they didn't take it, and who gets harmed in any way, or maybe even dies because they took the vaccine? Are you willing to go to court and go to prison because you told that member of staff you can't keep your job unless you get this vaccine, or, as you might put it, you told them that their old contract is null and void, they've got to sign a new contract which has the vaccine requirement in it, and they felt coerced into doing it because they didn't want to face unemployment and financial hardship, so they felt forced to get the vaccine and they got harmed in any way? Are you willing to be personally responsible and liable? Are you willing to go to court? Are you willing to go to prison for this? That's my second question. Question number three. And this relates a bit to the first question. Charlie Mullins, is there someone else who is pulling the strings? Are you saying what you're saying and doing what you plan to do because of your own independent judgment, or is there someone who is paying you behind the scenes? Now, I haven't got any evidence at this stage to prove this, but this is what I suspect is happening. The government don't want to be seen as introducing a policy of mandatory vaccination or coercion to be vaccinated themselves. However, I think it's highly likely that they are using the private sector, using wealthy businessmen to push their agendas while making it look like the agendas for forced or mandatory vaccinations are not coming from the government, but they're coming through the market forces, through the private sector, because that's what the people want. I think it's highly likely that Charlie Mullins is being used by the state. He's been bought and he's been paid for. He's being told and to push this agenda to make it look like it's not the government that are coercing people into taking the vaccine, but it's the private sector, it's the market forces, so that the government doesn't get the blame for it and the government doesn't get too unpopular. That's what I think might be happening. Again, I can't prove that at this stage, but that's my suspicion. So there are my three questions. Are you saying this because you've actually researched the information and you've come to your own independent, impartial judgment that all the staff are a danger if they're not vaccinated? Are you willing to be held personally liable After all, I'd expect the risks that someone gets harmed in some way through the vaccine is much greater than they pass COVID on to someone else, when there's a 99.8% chance that they'll recover from COVID. And thirdly, is someone paying you? Those are my 3 questions. If you're watching this, Charlie, please post in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.